Welcome to a special edition of the FA Show. I'm Nate Barrett. In this episode, we recap the annual AdvisorHub Summit. This yearly gathering of advisors, as well as wirehouses, RIAs, independent and regional firms, took place at the University Club in New York City and featured a stacked roster of sponsors and presenters. The morning keynote by Stifel CEO Ron Kruszewski led advisors through the tumult of 2021 with pit stops along the way for virtual reality, Bitcoin, and Doritos. The remainder of the morning saw a deeper and more bullish dive into crypto from Chris Baker at Fidelity Digital Assets and a wide variety of voices in a panel discussion on the industry that included perspectives from firms big and small, including Wells Fargo Advisors and Steward Partners on the larger end and Concourse and Resurgent on the smaller side. Ed Swinson, co-founder and COO of Dynasty Financial Partners, addressed one of the biggest elephants in room and his talk entitled "Do All Roads Lead to Independence?", providing insight into Dynasty's history and growth story and how supporting advisors in their model is likely to outpace other channels as the years go on. Some of the most high-energy moments of the event were served up by Brian Leitner from Mariner Platform Solutions. His presentation on elevating the client experience provided some truly actionable strategies for advisors at all stages of their careers who are looking for organic growth. 3X Equity provided some of the meatiest content at the summit with the release of their annual Advisor Transition Survey presented by CEO Jeff Crosby. The talk focused on trends and truths identified as part of their extensive survey. For advisors looking for confidence, the report's findings pointed strongly in the direction of leaping with key points, including an overwhelming number of advisors reported they were able to move the majority of their book when they switched firms. For many advisors, this is the biggest mental obstacle to overcome, and 84% of respondents reported moving 70% or more of their assets. When asked whether, if they knew what they know now about the process, if they would have still moved, a resounding 90% said yes. And when it came to how many offers did each advisor receive or consider, 7 out of 10 reported receiving at least 2 offers. The full report is available now as a free download at 3xequity.com and on the AdvisorHub website.
In this excerpt from their recent conversation, AdvisorHub publisher Tony Sirianni talks with Rob Bartenstein from Kestra about the state of the industry and Kestra's value proposition. The full interview is available online at advisorhub.com in the AdvisorHub TV section.
Welcome, everyone, to another edition of the Industry and Transition podcast. I'm thrilled to have Rob Bartenstein with us today, and he's CEO of Kestra. I've been on the show before. Actually, I can't tell what firm you're with because it says Kestra all in the background.
Like maybe subtlety isn't exactly what we went for.
I know you're like a coach. You're like
I'm a Ted Lasso.
Yeah, right. right. So how was 20? Let's get right into it. We only have a short time here. So what was 2021? What's your kind of takeaways from 21, and what are we looking for in 22?
Well, for us, 2021 was really good. Another record year of growth, and we find ourselves, as much as anything, almost not throttling back so much, but you almost have to be more choosy, which is a really quality problem. So we ran into a few opportunities that weren't the right fit for us, and the luxury of the kind of environment we're in right now is we can focus on the folks that really are a fit for us and that feel like we're a fit for them. And that's the kind of cultural alignment that you want, because our relationship with our advisors is so intimate. I always joke, it's like every day is Thanksgiving, and you don't want angry.
And you and I have worked together before in these, startup.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're starting, you're kind of a little bit maybe more open to talking to a whole bunch of different people, but I think it's a sign of growth, and it's a sign of maturity of the firm and of the industry and you also got to really identify your prospect. I mean, that's a real important thing for firms to sort of keep in mind, and you save yourself, tons of time and treasure if you can really figure that out in the beginning, who you want.
So true. And, look, just because we're a hammer does not make everyone a nail. And the reverse is also true. We're not a good fit for everyone. And we're frank about how our model works and the economics associated with that sort of service. And a lot of people want that, and a lot of people don't want that. So it really is a function of, and I'm frank with people about it. when you're doing your due diligence in this space, coming out of the wires like we all have, there's a lot of work to do, number one. But number two, you've got to find the right fit for you, because there is no silver bullet. There is no one firm that does everything well, that's the absolute best stop for everyone. It's a fit issue as much as anything.
Well, and that's why it's good that there's a sort of a
We turn now to the recruiting wire powered by 3X Equity, the authority on advisor transitions. Two former high-producing wirehouse teams that have launched multi-billion-dollar RIA firms expanded their new domains with a pair of hires this week. In Connecticut, Procyon Partners, overseeing nearly $5 billion in client assets, hired financial advisor Zoltan Pongres from Barnum Financial Group. Pongres's commute won't be changing much, as Procyon's Shelton office is located a few doors down from Barnum, according to registration records. Pongres, who moved with a junior advisor, Jake McCarthy, and client service associate Mickey Herbert, had managed $150 million in client assets at Barnum, according to an announcement. In a separate move, a Merrill Lynch broker in Summit, New Jersey, left the wirehouse to join New York City RIA Core Private Wealth, founded in 2018 by a $4 billion plus AUM team that broke away from Merrill's former private banking and investment group, PBIG. Michael Thiesfeld, who began his brokerage career with Merrill in 2014, joined the Madison Avenue firm last week. Core partner and co-founder Eric Bodner confirmed in an email, declining to comment further or provide figures on Thiesfeld's assets and annual revenue. Raymond James Financial has named a former Edward Jones manager to oversee recruiting across the firm's private client group, including its employee and independent broker channels. Robbie Mosley, who was most recently in charge of advisor recruiting and integration for Edward Jones's Eastern Division, took over as vice president and head of Raymond James's recruiting platform, Advisor Choice Consulting. Mosley fills a role left vacant since March when Barry M. Papa, a 33-year industry veteran who had been with Raymond James since 2006, died, according to the announcement and registration records. For a complete list of recent moves, as well as access to the AdvisorHub offers tool to find out what your practice is worth, visit the Deals and Comps section of AdvisorHub.com. Thanks for joining us for this week's edition of the FA Show on AdvisorHub TV, powered by 3X Equity. I'm Nate Barrett. Have a great day.